Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what I thought we would do today is make a set of coasters. And I've got my mold out because I thought this mold would look great. I got these heat transfers from Temu. And they're sloths. This is Slothrin. So it's kind of Harry Potter style. Snoozle Puff. Now if I can get it. Hanging Claw. And Griffin Snore. So what I'm going to do is I've got 6 ounces of resin that I've mixed up. It's a 1-to-1 resin. It is the, I'll show you guys, KD resin, 1-to-1. It's a part A, part B. I measured it out and I've got 6 ounces of resin. I didn't put it up in the debubbler because I'm going to be mixing some stuff in with it. Alright, I'm going to use this little piggy. It is ball gown and it's kind of like an interference gold. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. Get it open over here so we're, never used it. Alright. So I'm going to put a little bit of that. Put a good size scoop. I think that'll be good. And someone said on one of my other videos that you can add alcohol ink and make the interference look a little better. So I'm going to use this alcohol ink cream yellow. Miracle Coup is the brand. Just going to add a couple of drops. Okay, 10 drops. And then I'm going to put a little gold super sparkle by Color Passion. I thought a light yellow, yellowish background would be really pretty. Okay, just a little of that, not much. Okay, now get that powder off my stick. Get this mixed in here. But I thought this would make a really pretty background color. Get it mixed up. Okay. Just a creamy yellow, since all of them have yellow in their tie. Okay. Yeah, that's a really light, very light yellow. Okay. Now, I'm going to pour about 1 ounce into each one of these, I think, or 30 gram. See if we can get this to spread out into each one of these. Don't want any holes in there. May have to do a little more than 1 ounce. I don't even think I've used 1 ounce yet. Maybe just a little more in there. I just want a thin background because I still have to cover these over down in all those little edges with clear once I put the heat transfer on. Now I'm going to let these cure up completely before I add the heat transfer because I have this little iron and it is so cute that I got off of Amazon and it works so well with heat transfers when I do them in the resin. Trying to get all these little corners down in there first. Don't want any holes on the sides. Usually 6 ounces is enough to do a bottom layer in this mold. I hope I'm not putting my arm right in you guys' way. Ooh, I think I might have poured a little more in that one. It's okay. We'll be able to level it all out here soon. You just don't want any bubbles down in those corners. Okay. Get this one scattered out here. And I could have put this in the debubbler, I suppose, but I didn't. I'm too impatient sometimes for my own good. So usually I don't have any issue with bubbles when it's a small layer like this. They usually degas pretty well. And I don't have bubbles hit the bottom or the corners by spreading it out. I see a hair. See if I can get that off. There we go. Well, now I'm stuck. There. Okay. Add a little more to make sure these get covered over here. I've still got 2 ounces left. Actually, I think I may have a little bit more than 2. Okay. They all look pretty even. I think that's a thin enough layer for what I want. I'm going to let these cure up. I'll let them set for a minute, let the bubbles come up, use my little torch them down, and once they completely cure, I'll be back and we will add our, I got resin on top of that. I must have had it on my finger. We will add our heat transfers. And I think these will look really cute. So, what do we want to do with the extra resin? Let's move these out of our way and find us some extras. I have some little jars that I've been wanting to try, but I want to put some, I want to paint those flowers up. There's little flowers down in here. I'd really like to paint them. I could paint them after. I really think if I could, I'll probably paint them after since they're so small. Let's just see if we can fill any of these up. These came from Temu. They were a little expensive, I thought, for no bigger than what they were. But they are handmade. You can tell that. Okay, there's a bubble popping out of that. I might need to squeeze these. Oh yeah, there's a few bubbles popping out of this one. So definitely squeeze them, I suppose. Hopefully there's no more bubbles down in there. I hope I got them. Okay. Do the square one the same way. See if there's any bubbles going to pop out of him. Yeah, there's one. I might need to put a little more in there. Now let's squeeze it. Yeah, there's another bubble popping out over here on the side. I can get it to pop. Here we go. Now let's fill these back up here. I hope they turn out pretty. these looked like they were cute little jars. Now this one I'm going to have to take a dotting tool down in there for those flowers. Both of these. There's my dotting tool. There's a lot of little bumps and areas down in there you want that resin to get into. I see some bubbles coming up just by poking around. Quite a few actually. They're popping on their own though. I don't know if you all can see them popping up there. Go around the edge. There's a lip in there too. Now let's see if we can get this one. See those bubbles pop up? That's a big bubble. See all of those? Those would have been pieces that were missing resin if we didn't do this. Okay, just keep poking around. Poke the bear, poke the bear. Just trying to break the bubbles loose is what we're doing. There's a bubble over in that corner. To dig that out. Okay. See if we can get some more resin down in there. Still not going to fill it completely yet because now I'm going to squeeze it. Okay. Just trying to make sure if there are bubbles and breaking them all loose. I've still got a little more left. Do I have enough for this tray? I think I might. This tray really doesn't use much at all. So let's see. About 1.5 ounces is all you really need for this. Now let's poke around in that one. Just in case there's any bubbles down through there. I think I see a bubble popping up right there. Okay, now we can add a little more resin to it. This mold looks like it would hold so much more, but it doesn't. It's a really pretty mold though once you demold it. And it's full. And this one, nothing's overflowing on me. So let's see if we can take out just a little bit of that one. I've still got a little bit left. I think we can do a pendant or something. I really like this mold. And it doesn't use much at all. You have to kind of fill it slowly. You want it to go down each one of those, and getting down in that little stem area can be a bit rough. Let's see if I can maybe pull the mold apart. Okay, let's put some more down in there. I think I want to have just enough to fill that up. If I can get it to push itself down in there, it comes out so much better. Pull it apart and see if I can get it to kind of flow. It's almost down in there. Come on, just a little bit more, buddy. There we go, I got him. Okay. Now, still got a little bit left. Okay. Got this little tiny pendant. Now I may not have enough to fill it up, but we can always do a black backing or something on it if we don't. Do you know what? I believe I'm going to. Yep, he's full too. Alright, that's it, guys. So we will let these cure up. Come back. I have a bubble over there. Where's my little torch? I wouldn't do this with a regular torch, guys, but this one is more like a lighter, so it doesn't really get my molds, which is awesome. Just a little old tiny thing I got off Amazon. Alright, guys, we'll let these cure up, come back, demold all of this stuff, put our temporary or our heat transfers on, and then cover it up with some clear resin. So I'll see you guys then. See ya. Hey guys, so these have cured up overnight, and I got my little tool I was talking to you about. Let me pull my little extension over here. This is the little iron. Oh, ooh, it's a little loose. I touched it. It's turned on. This is the little iron I was talking about. You can turn it on and off here, and you can adjust the temperature here. I don't need it that hot. It came with a couple different pieces here, and I've just had it on. These change out, and I got it off of Amazon. If I can find it, I'll put the link in the description for you guys. Now, about put it on backwards. Wouldn't work, would it? It would stick to my little iron. You can take this iron and you can just go across this. Now be mindful that you are doing this on top of resin, and that if you're not careful, then your resin will melt. And you can see how it just kind of pulls apart once it's onto the resin. So it makes it pretty simple to do. And you just iron it. And I do not go off the paper because I don't want it to touch the resin, just in case. And I did turn the heat down to just 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see how easy that just transfers over with this little iron. It doesn't take much for that to stick. And I'm barely doing any pressure at all. I'm just kind of more or less floating across the top. I'm going to have to turn it around this way so I can get those letters. Almost. And that's it. And you see how perfect that came off? Wow, I want to put them on backwards. Just get it started and go around. Okay, guys, instead of making you all watch all of this, since I've done shown you the first one, I'm just going to pause the video, get these on, then we'll come back, pour some resin, and demold the rest of these. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. All right, guys, so I got all of those on there, and I have mixed up 6 ounces of resin. I haven't put it in the debubbler or anything, but I did put a little gold super sparkle in there, just a little bit. And we're going to pour this right over these. And just spread it out. Make sure it gets in each one of those little corners there. Don't want any bubbles. See a bubble. And the heat kicked on. I'll turn that thing off. Alright, let me get me a tool to work with those and turn this heat off. Alright, didn't want that one. I want this one right here. I'm just going to go around and make sure I don't have any bubbles down in those little corners there and pluck out any that I might see. There's one. Okay. Alright. Fill up the rest of these. And I don't think I'll need all this, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough. And these are completely cured, otherwise I wouldn't have poured resin in each one. Definitely getting some bubbles around the edges. I'm going to have to plug out. And get those corners there too. This resin's been pretty good to degas and get rid of all the bubbles and not have any bubbles left. And that's why I'm not worried too much about it. Okay. Go around the edges, pluck any bubbles that like to get stuck, because you know they do in this mold. Love this mold, but a lot of little places for bubbles to hang on to. These are cute. Harry Potter. Okay. I don't see. Yep, there's one. Pluck you out, little bubble. Okay. Any more? All right. Let's see if we can fill these up anymore. Because I've only used 3 ounces. I believe each one can hold just a little bit more, but not much. Yeah, that is it. They look pretty full. All right, guys. I'm just going to take my heat gun. Yeah, it's just a little lighter, really. Okay. I'll let them take a few minutes. I've still got resin left. I'll figure out something to do with that later. Let's demold these other pieces. Love this mold. These are from Into Resin, and there is a 20% discount code and a link in the description if you guys use any of their molds. Isn't that pretty? Love how that shimmers. Now let's see some of these others. Now this one, it is really pretty this way, but it's got some places on it. And I'm going to show you guys that here in just a second, what I do with this one. This is a water ripple from Into Resin. Now let's look at these little jars. Okay, I see some bubbles that I didn't quite get in the corners. Yeah, I can fix those though. And I might take a gold pin or something across the top to set off those flowers. Just want to be very careful that I get it all. Yep, one there too. See, I think those would be really pretty if I painted them first. A few bubbles I'm going to have to fix on that one. Now these are the bottoms. Piece of resin on there, trying to get off. Isn't that cute? And that little lid just goes right on it. And the round one. They demold very well. Oh, that's pretty. No bubbles in that. And that's the round one. Now, this. I'm going to take my gold pen. And there are some places I like to go right down the stem and get those. Get this round one in the center here. And paint that up. And then there's these little diamond shaped ones. May have been prettier with a different color than just the gold. The gold's not really standing out too well, is it, against this cream color? And then there's two little diamond areas on the edges that I like to get when I paint this mold. There's a bigger one and there's a little one. And then I'm going to put brooches on these back to make them into a brooch. I have a couple I've already done that I haven't put the brooch part back on it yet. But I think painting those up makes them look so much prettier. They're pretty. Let me see. Where did I put it? I'll show you one that I've done. I gotta remember where I put it. There it is. Here's one I did in black and painted it in gold. Isn't that pretty? Wouldn't that make a pretty brooch? And that's an resin mold also. All right. Yeah, those are going to be hard to paint, but I might do them. Maybe, maybe not. All right. I'm going to take my torch again. Any bubbles that may have popped up. I don't see any. All right. We'll come back when these are time to demold. All right. I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so I got these painted up. I didn't do the best job in the world, but they're just for me anyways, to go on my little dresser. So that is those jars. Now let's move all that out of the way. And let's get our coasters here. And you can already see them. They're really cute. I love sloths. Alright guys, that's it. And there's the back. You can actually kind of see the color of it through it, didn't you? Maybe I went too light of a color. Alright guys, I'll see you back for the next video. Bye.